injured here. 3v3 Tiber Outpost. Blue side we have raaar as a force commander. Offensive, fights in melee, can buff his marines though. Pretty versatile going into tier 2. SpiritofAsgard as a Inquisitor, offensive commander. Can fight melee or range, starts in melee, has lots of stuns and snares and the like. And Jamus as a Lord General, fights in range, has a Stormtrooper retinue which you can add to over the game, lots of support and defense. And Mr. Ricco on the red side as a Kommando knob, can infiltrate, fights in range, does some nice damage and has lots of nasty tricks. newTween as a Warp Spider Exarch, who must be in a building somewhere since I can't select him. We also have ILPRA as a Plague Champion, playing under a different name. Perhaps he was having a bad day. Ranged commander by default, can be pretty nasty in melee later on and can deploy turrets and can support. Pretty slow though. 3 VPs as always. Running northeast to southwest, that's top to bottom in a straight line, none of them natural. Sluggers going off the scouts there. Still can't grab this Warp Spider Exarch. Heretics forced off for ILPRA. Plague Champions, Plague Bolter doing damage over time. Chaos Space Marines should be forcing melee on those guardsmen, and I think they are. Another Chaos Space Marine squad for ILPRA. Lord General forcing melee on his guardians. Lost a retinue member, now in retreat. Chaos Space Marines gonna cap this wreck point. Loads of gens going up for red team straight away. Kommando knob is forced off. Already has his extra equipment. By far the most popular armor choice. Warp Spider Exarch finally out of his building. Teleporting commander, fights ranged by default. Lots of nasty tricks in the late game, good at harassing and capping. Heavy weapon squad on the field for Jamus. Setup team, heavy bolter by default, which suppresses. Warp Spider Exarch didn't finish the cap, not sure why. Going to defend this power, I see. Sentinel in a bit of trouble here for Spirit. Guardians take a building. Warp Spider Exarch, sorry, takes the building. Spirit really trying to take out his power. That was crippling volley on those Guardians. They both have their battle equipment. Guardsmen forced off. They did take out 1 or 2 generators. Bottom is red. Heretics have a sparring champion. Plague champion dies. Was trying to rush the heavy bolter. Chaos Space Marines did get in melee. There go Heretics. And Doom Blast his guardsmen, forcing them off. With their aspiring champion, they are very, very bad news for guardsmen. Gonna get stomped now by the Sentinel. Ground Pound, the ability is actually called. Goes down though from the Warp Spider Exarch. That's a big loss for Jamus. Sluggers catching scouts again. They have their sergeant, might drop a grenade and run. They do. Ouch. Retreated just in time, I think. Looked like it should have done a bit more damage there. One generator will go down. Shuriken cannon on the field for Tween. Covering this approach. Imperial Guard can struggle to deal with setup squads in tier 1. Tier 2 for Spirit and Jamus. ILPRA also going tier 2. Crippling volley on these Guardians and they're forced off. Not sure what the Warp Spider Exarch was trying to do, was trying to tie up That heavy weapon squad, I think, might pay for it with death. No, he'll get away. Shuriken Cannon can suppress all of this stuff now. Lord General taking tons of damage. Suppression setup teams do more damage the closer you get. Lord General almost going down there. Down to 45 HP. Here come heretics. Can get some Nurgle worship to heal up these marines, and does. Commander Nob sneaking around. None of this stuff can see him. Only the scout sergeant can, and he's close enough to see him. Now being chased by assault marines on the field for raaar. Jump infantry that disrupt when they land. Not sure why the Commander Nob isn't retreating here, taking lots of unnecessary damage. Now retreats. 485 plays 298. Great start for blue team in terms of VPs. They did take a few losses though. Quick blood crusher from ILPRA. Shuriken Cannon is going to come and try and defend this power. Not really. Guardsmen managed to take out all of the generators, I think. Here are grenade launcher heretics, which are extremely bad news for guardsmen. Huge AoE damage they do to light infantry. This squad might even wipe. Didn't have a sergeant and goes down. A bit sloppy from Spirit. Should have retreated both squads as soon as he saw those heretics. Was really determined to take out those generators though. 2-to-1 cap for blue. Spirit has stormtroopers on the field. Have their anti-armor kit. More guardsmen on the way. Blood Crusher is on the field. Demon for Chaos has vehicle armor, pretty quick, fights in melee. War truck on the way for Mr. Ricco. He has a weird boy on the field, sub commander for Orks. Good at taking care of clumps of infantry. Commander Nob being very sneaky, has his special shoot. This is going to be nasty. He's going to unload a high explosive shell shot, gibbing models left and right. A fantastic weapon against light infantry, and they're lucky to get away. He can now perhaps cap that center point. Blood Crusher charges the heavy weapon squad. It has an autocannon which does good damage to all targets. 483 plays 262. Reds are taking top though, also taking center. Already have bottom, might be a triple cap here. Blues have their power bashed, trying to do some power bashing of their own, are forced off. Falcon on the field for newTween. Acts as a transport and mobile reinforcement point. Pretty nice damage output too. As transports go, certainly. The Inquisitor now has her Inferno pistol. Judgment has gone off on this Chaos Space Marine. Inquisitor needs to get into range to use it though. Has a Shuriken Cannon, I think, to deal with in this building. Plague Champion lost the indicator for him. He doesn't have any war gear. Ogrins on the field for Jamus. Powerful tier 2 melee infantry. Had their squad leader as well. Force Commander very close to dying, and does die. He was fully kitted out. Getting revived though immediately by Spirit, which levels the Inquisitor to 2. Force Commander fully kitted out here. His mighty Power Fist, Artificer Armor and his Iron Halo. Nice damage alpha and pretty tough then. Hammer of the Witches almost finished off this Plague Champion. He retreats. Ogrins are back at base. Triple cap for red. Blues have their work out. There's a Plague Cloud. It's going to finish off that heavy weapon squad, and does. Noxious Cloud, sorry. It's now going after these guardsmen. Global ability from the Plague Champion. Very, very, very bad news for Imperial Guard. Forcing a retreat from Jamus. Triple cap then. 324 plays 262, but that is very quickly whittling down. Blues really up against it here. Here come Ogrins, which will be very bad news for that Blood Crusher. Raaar wants to see a Manticore. Chimera on the way for Spirit. Assault Marines have their Sergeant. Here come Sluggers with their Knob Leader and Burners. They're going to be very, very, very bad news for the Tactical Marines. Not attacking though. Now they are. Take their time. Tactical Marines are going to wipe. I don't think Ra has seen it. Now he does. And they're going to die. And do. A bit sloppy from Ra. Wasn't paying attention at top. Plague Marines on the field for ILPRA. Still no war give for that Plague Champion. 276 phase 252 then. Sluggers taking this power point back. You can see the Orky generators. Scouts took the top, have shotguns and the Sergeant. Don't really want to get involved if Sluggers could suppress them, but then they'd just be rushed. Assault Marines saving them. Force Commander's also there. Sluggers are forced off in fact. Bottom is completely turning red thanks to ILPRA. 276 phase 230. No weapon upgrade for these guardsmen yet. Shooters weighing in though. There's the Weird Boy's fantastic artillery attack. Lord General taking tons of damage is forced off, has his grenade launchers. Ouch, there goes a zap. Damage over time to these guardsmen, wears off though. Blood Crush charges in, knocking down his retreating units, might finish off this squad. Does a special attack, goes down anyway. Reds completely dominating the Blues at this point. Chimera being snuck up on by the Kommando Knob, he can't do anything to it. Manticore on the field for Jamus, also for Spirit. This could be a game changer if they can get one or two very nice hits off. Judgment goes off on the Falcon. Not going to be able to activate it though, forced off. Devastators, Plasma Devastators that is, on the field for Raaar. Artillery unit. Manticore is firing somewhere on the center. Was mostly dodged, I think. Stormtroopers on the way for Jamus. Weird Boy forced to retreat. Kommando Knob up to level 2. Raaar level 2. Spirit must be in the building. Jamus is level 1. Mr. Ricco level 2. Tween level 2 with his entangling web. Mass retreat from Eldar there. Hammer of the Witch is trying to finish off the Kommando Knob, gets away. Anti-God Strike, trying to finish him, didn't go off in time. Inquisitor went down, Autarch was called down by newTween, trying to finish off these Plasma Devastators, taking tons of damage though, and she will retreat at incredible speed. Force Commander levels after reviving the Inquisitor, that's the 3. He's doing tons of damage to this stuff. Judgment here used as a deterrent. Plague Marines are camping the center. Very tough anti-vehicle unit. Knobs on the field for Mr. Ricco. This is very, very bad news. Powerful tier 3 infantry for Orks. Falcon taken out. Chimera has been snared by the Plague Marines missile, but it has got away. Here come Knobs in melee with the Force Commander, being knocked down by their own Weird Boy, very orky. Force Commander is actually a pretty decent counter for Nobs. Once he uses his battle cry, he will constantly knock them down. Here come Assault Marines to help out. Battle cry is now worn off. He now needs to stand toe to toe with them. Has support though. There's Warp Vomit. Scout suppressing these Nobs. He's doing a very good job on them. They need to be careful. Still haven't lost a member. Assault Marines are gonna die very, very, very fast. Nobs finally retreat, get healed by the Autarch, and they didn't lose a member. Pretty lucky for Mr. Ricco. Devastator, Plasma Devastator is back at base. A heavy bolter turret from the Plague Champion is in the middle. Anti-vehicle stormtroopers trying to take out this Blood Crusher here. They have melter guns, need to turn, and they do take it out. Survived pretty long though. 221 plays 184. Can't believe the blue team are coming back into this here. Lost so much stuff. More Plague Marines on the way for ILPRA. Jamus trying to skirt around the edges of the turret. Ogrins can get in behind and will make short work of it. Heretics are going to engage. No. Stormtroopers taking tons of damage from Zinch bolters. There goes the turret. Mark of Zinch on these Chaos Space Marines. Manticore Strike misses everything. That is crazy damage to those Ogrins. They popped a medipack from the Lord General's Sergeant Retinue. Kommando Nob has his rocket launcher, which is incredible against vehicles. Takes out the Manticore in 2 shots, I think. 182 plays 182. Don't get much closer than this.
The enemy is claiming a victory point.
Avatar on the way for newTween. Nobs capping this PowerPoint. Lost a member. Shooter's taking a top VP. Bit of a lot on the action. Maybe not. Orc Nob forced off there. Level 4. Ouch, that rocket launcher is going to do some crazy damage. Nobs took the power, now backing off. Weird Boy a bit low on health, needs to be careful. Assault Marines could jump him and finish him off. Jump in the shooters. Warp Vomit misses them. Force kind of finishes off the Weird Boy, who explodes on death. There's the explosion, knocking down the Nobs, who are very low on health. Still have 4 members. Here comes some sluggers. And we have Terminators on the field for raaar. Went for the ranged variety with Power Fists and Storm Bolters. He is floating insane amounts of requisition here. Force Commander now level 4, 141 plays 162. Bottom is still red. Triple cap for red, in fact. Valiant effort for blue, but they're still behind here. Here's a creeping barrage, is it? It is. Takes out a Plague Marine, I think. Yep. Huge disruption as well. Chaos Space Marines mostly dodged it. Lehman Russ on the way for Spirit. Avatar is on the field for newTween, chasing a Chimera. Super unit for Eldar, buffs all nearby allied infantry, and it's pretty fearsome in melee. Gonna do a Wailing Doom on these Terminators, stopping their cap. Bunch of Guardians in support. Autarch has her Executioner Spear, trying to finish off this Chimera. I think she will. She's very, very quick. Force Commander going after her there. Terminators inspiring nearby allies whenever they kill anything. Chimera did go down thanks to the Kommando Nob, I think. Autarch Loses her shield, might die, and will. Spirit is down at the top. 86 plays 162. It's very close. Blues are capping center. Top is being decapped though by knobs. Here's the Leman Russ getting the Vanquisher. Raaar has over 1200 requisition. Could get 3 tactical marine squads. Melter bomb goes off on the Avatar 2, in fact. It's going to die here with Power Fist, Leman Russ and double Stormtroopers. Here's another Autarch. Avatar dies. Ouch. Kommando getting rear armor hits on this Leman Russ with the rocket launcher. Tons of damage of each hit. 68 plays 162. 2 to uncap for red. They have bottom pretty sewn up here. Nothing's even pushing it. Another turret from ILPRA. Top is red with knobs, sluggers and shooters. Leman Russ pretty lucky to escape. Double repaired by guardsmen who have plasmas. Kommando really trying to finish it off. His cloak has worn out. Raaar still floating insane amounts of requisition. Blue very power starved here. Ogryn's chasing Cal Space Marines. 41 plays 162. Cal Space Marines forced off. Don't think they'll lose another member. Up to level 2. We have a Predator on the field for Raaar, forcing off these knobs. Drop pod reinforcing Raar's infantry. Terminators have their assault cannon, huge damage to a single target of infantry anyway. Blues can retake top thanks to Stormtroopers. They have center. 20 plays 162. Heavy turret going down from the Lord General in the center, one of his global abilities. Another Leman Russ on the way for Jamus. Ogryn's on the way for Spirit. D cannon on the way for newTween. Autarch jumps in. Noxious Cloud goes down from ILPRA. Bad news for these guardsmen, they're gonna wipe. No Chimera around to reinforce when they go down. Manticore strike on the center, ouch. Guardians done in droves. 2 models survive. And they're going to be gibbed by the Leman Russ, I assume. Manticore's going to die here. Knob. So nasty with that rocket launcher up to level 6. Turret goes down. Here comes sluggers and knobs. Smite going off from Lars Librarian. Huge engagement in the center here. 20 plays 153. Center's being capped by Plague Marines, which might be game over if they finish it, and they do. 19 plays 153 then. Assault Marines immediately try to decap. There's a Rocks. Assault Marines jump away. Ogryns get hit pretty bad. Pop a Medipack. 10 plays 153. Blues desperately trying to get the center here. And there's a time field from the Warp Spider Exarch. Sorry, a phase shift. Time field is a Farseer ability, and it's going to run out for blue. 2 to uncap, and they win it. Huge losses early game for blue, but they did manage to come back. I don't think all of these vehicles were a very good idea up against the Kommando Knob with that devastating rocket launcher. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.